Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our expert panel for the conversation today. We're going to talk about the premium category, uncommon flavors, exceptional experiences, the premium food retail revolution. So certainly, this entire premium and the gourmet category, the retail is expanding, and we see a lot of opportunity coming in. And hence, today with this expert panel, we're going to delve into some of these insights and what lies in the future for everyone. But before that, I would request everyone to give a short introduction about yourself. And also, in 2 sentences, according to you, what is the definition of premium?
Thank you, Rahul. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vivek Khan, and I am the real estate head for the new shop. So for premium, I will say because I am from the real estate background, so I'll talk about the store. So the store which is available in the density where I can reach easily, look and feel wise, it is good. All the products are available as per my need, and it's affordable.
Nice, nice.
Hi, my name is Vivek Sharma. I'm business at Only Herbs and Season. For me, premiumization or luxury or whatever way you want to call it is actually not a word, it's a trend, and it's just a result of India not shining anymore, India arriving. So as a country, as an economy, we have arrived, and hence our aspirations have also arrived.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shrikant Subramanian. I am the Vice President and the Business Head for the Commercial Refrigeration Business at Blue Star. In Blue Star, when we say premium, we look at products which offer higher end features and benefits to the customer from the operational standpoint. Of course, costing a little bit more, but then the customer should be able to perceive the value for the extra money that he's paying for the product.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sachin, heading the business of Nature's Basket. For us, the premium, when I say the first word comes to the mind is authenticity. I think that is the basic thing which we look for. Now there is a definite differentiation between premium and luxury. So luxury is also, it adds, rarity is one, one word I would like to add with authenticity.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hi, this is Avinash. I'm heading Fresh Pick and Fresh Signature. So for me, what I feel premium is like offering a high quality, unique, artisanal and sustainable product which are responsibly sourced and also combined with the technology, combined with the services to create a experiential journey for the customer. So that is what I feel as a summary, one summary of the premium as such.
Hi, I'm Akshay. I'm the co-founder at Bombay Gourmet Market. And for us, premium is giving you a great vibe right in your neighborhood with a great assortment of products which you usually won't find, down the road. So I think premium is elevating the experience once a customer walks in, right from the vibe to the products. That is premium according to me.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Prajay, director from Maxon's, Goa. We run the largest chain of gourmet supermarkets. A couple of years back, I also founded one of Goa's first premium alcohol and cigar stores. It's also one of India's few standalone cigar outlets. So it's a pretty interesting experience that I've had there. For us, I think premium lies on two axes. The first is providing value. Customers want to feel good about what they buy. So that doesn't mean charging them an exorbitant price just because you have that premium tag. And the second, and I think very importantly, in a country like India, where what is premium for one may be mass for another, it's aligning your values and the customer's values. Because when a customer is buying something from you, he's not just giving you his money, but he's giving you a part of his values and belief system. So I think positioning premium in that segment is extremely important.
Very nicely put out, Prajay. And all of you, very, very nice perspective on what premium would mean. I would request Vivek Sharma to help us give a synopsis on what is this premium consumer all about.
So as I just mentioned, I was starting out. Premium in India, as my colleague here also said, Something which is affordable to you might be a premium to somebody else. But the Indian values are changing, Indian exposures are changing. I think this is the first time in the history of Indian consumer they are ready to pay for convenience as a premium, which is a clear shift in how Indian consumers are spending what they're earning. The trust that is now being driven beyond brands which are on the TV, the rise of D2C brands, the rise of e-commerce is a shift and Indian ability to give trust to people whom they care about. Indian consumers are not talking about sustainability, they're not talking about provenance stories, the overall benefit of the planet, the consumers, the retail. So premiumization is just not about a price point. It's about the lifestyle choices consumers are making, what they aspire to be, what they stand for. Consumer activism is still not very active in India, but it's a story. Someday it will come to India. The values are changing. Indian consumers, India is shining. So are our aspirations, so are our consumptions. Hence, premiumization is just not about shiny packets anymore. It's about what we as a brand stand for and what my consumer stands for, and do we have a transaction in the middle?
Thanks, Vivek. Yeah, you do reflect upon the consumers changing, very informative, very thoughtful. Yeah. Now, this has got some linkages on categories also. I would request Avinash to reflect upon some of the niche categories and how do you see category playing a role in this entire thing?
So I think I would like to share some of the, because there are a number of categories where we have seen a lot of traction in our stores. So some categories I want to highlight. First one, what I see as a cold press oil. So if you look at the oil contribution in the oil category, cold press oil is playing a very important role now. So that I think is a fair contribution we have seen in the last 2 years on the cold press oil as a category. Second, we talk about international cuisine. So now, like, still the category is very large Italian, like I have seen in the earlier presentation also. Italian cuisine is still the largest one. But in terms of growing thing, if you talk about Middle Eastern cuisine, which is doing very well because we have seen a lot of restaurants opening up on the Middle Eastern, and there are ingredients like jatar, like sumac, like some spices. So there are a lot of traction we have seen. Couscous becoming a very healthy option as a breakfast option for Middle Eastern cuisine. So there are a lot of product now coming up on the Middle Eastern cuisine, what we have seen. Second cuisine is Korean. So Korean is the other thing which we are seeing that after COVID, we have seen a lot of people got addicted with the K-drama, and on that basis, we have seen a strong jump on the Korean noodles. So there are companies like, in our store, the number one selling SKU is the Korean noodles. So that is how the category is moving in that direction. And there are other cuisine like kimchi is becoming a very healthier option, which we have seen as a nutrition. So I think that is one strong trend. So earlier there used to be only 1 or 2 brands. Now we are seeing a lot of brands coming up on the kimchi side. So there are a lot of players getting into it. So cuisine, I think these are the 2 cuisines which I want to share. These are the 2 cuisine where we have seen a lot of growth. And on the one more product which I want to highlight is a truffle. So I think truffle, if you talk about 1 or 2 years back, we were hardly selling any truffle in our stores. Now we have dedicated a separate area focusing on truffle because we have seen people are going with that direction of earlier it used to be only black and white oil, truffle oil, but now we have seen a large portfolio of truffle coming from like a potato chips we are getting some antipasti, we are getting everywhere. Pasta is also becoming a popular in truffle. So basis the demand, we have to create a truffle entire section in the store. I think Nature Basket is also doing on that. So truffle as a category is the third one which we have seen a lot of traction in that. The other one exciting category which we have not seen like 2 to 3 years back, we have not seen any traction in that store, and now we have to dedicate 1 or 2 base dedicated area for this category is in nutraceutical. So I think nutraceutical is one of the area which we have seen that was only as a category people were buying more on online, but now we have seen a lot of traction on the protein powder. We have seen a lot of protein bars coming up, and effervescent. I think as a category there are multiple brands which have now come into that effervescent. So I think that is the one exciting portfolio what we have seen in the nutraceutical space. And the last one I want to share to something like on the functional drink. So I think if you talk about functional drink, there are now functional based drink which is coming up. Kombucha is one portfolio which we have seen a greater response in the store. So there are a lot of players in the kombucha space offering a lot of healthier option. Probiotic drink is coming up, and plant-based milk like almond milk. Earlier it used to be 2 to 3 years back, hardly there's a brand selling almond milk. Now we have seen a lot of players getting into that almond milk space, and it is becoming a big trend now, replacing the milk option, almond milk, because of the vegan population building up. So I think almond milk is, or as a peanut butter and almond milk, these are the two categories where we have seen a big space. So this is just a summary on the overall space of the English category.
You know, Avinash, the way you have explained it, and when I reflect on the way we see the store, you are absolutely right. This is the way categories are now very segmented.
Yeah.
So actually premium, it is becoming so much more closer to us. Yeah. So Akshay, over to you. See, selling these categories is an art. Okay, it has to be quite immersive, communicating to consumer. So what is the marketing mix you deploy inside the store?
So actually our life has become quite easy, if I may say so, with the influx of social media. You know, today everything is available just at a scroll. Things are trending, things go viral, customers come in for the viral products. We got hold of these Dubai chocolates, and we had an influx of people coming in just because they saw it on social media. So social media, I feel, has a very driving energy into customers being educated or informed of what premium is or what aspiration is. So Dubai chocolate is maybe one, but more hot sauces, as Avinash said, the Korean foods, with these challenges of these spicy noodles, of hot sauces. So I think when it comes to marketing, social media plays a very, very important role in bringing the customer and them choosing the product.
Can I add
Yeah.
into this? I
To
think
Sachin.
beside what you mentioned, Akshay, I think chefs are playing very major role for this premium food marketing. I think people in social media have started following a lot of many chefs because of the new cuisines new recipe which they are building. And we have seen in last one and a half year in Nature's Basket, since the time we have started associating with the chefs, and in fact every week in 5 to 6 stores there are chefs which are invited, and that is being promoted in social media. And we have seen customers are paying to attend their classes also. So
Please give
I think
one example to elaborate the.
so we recently have launched. So we have 5 stores where there's a concept called Chef's Table, and every Saturday and Sunday, chefs are invited. It's a predefined class of a different cuisine. People do register for that. It's a 1-hour session where they make new cuisine and explain, and where the participants can cook with the chef also. And in social media, I mean, for one store, one activity, almost 60-70 registrations are coming. So I'm saying that the marketing, it's not only about making paid. I mean, the chefs are really helping, particularly premium food retail, to grow.
It is quite experiential also. Right?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, premium food is growing not only because of the international food product availability. We have 35 stores in India, 6 cities. One learning what we have seen in last 1.5 years is that there are a lot of innovation in Indian food. There are a lot of startups. If you see, earlier it was, if you look at the noodle category, it was about Coca, like you were saying, Longshem, Bulldog. Now with the new Indian startup ecosystem, a brand like Wicked Good, a brand like Slurp Farm, they are also equally gaining the share because of the newness, because of the innovation so it's no more Indian food premium retailing is not limited to international products. The Indian startup ecosystem is so robust now, even on snacking category or like he was mentioning almond milk category. There are so many Indian brands, who are coming with new ideas, new variety. So there's a newness which has built in premium food retailing. and customers are enjoying to experience this change in last 2 years. I would rather say 2 years. So, which is good for us. I mean, there are so many new brands. Even consumers are finding it great to have a new variant of soya milk with new taste, new flavor. So it's not limited to price. It's also helping us in terms of educating customer and creating newness in the category.
Nice, nice. No, thanks. Nice thought and good partnerships and collaborations happening. Now taking a little shift away from the category. So Vivek Khan, it is for you. With the entire boom of premium categories happening, how do you see real estate shaping up? And do you see some demands happening in the market, rentals, acquisition, stores changing?
Yeah, Rahul. Actually, I remember when we started, initially, the new shop stores. So I used to see the sites from the rental point of view. So the location was not the something in my mind. So thoda side mein hoga chalega, but it should not be on the 1 lakh rupees of rental, which was the target. Otherwise, the ROI will not recover within 24 months, which was our target. But nowadays, what I see is because it's a franchise-owned and franchise-operated model, so franchisees are actually coming up with the, the sites which are premium and have, the traffic which is already there. The rentals, they are not worried about. They want more categories, more of international taste. They are looking for something which, can be filled by the categories, and they have, something more to invest. Earlier, the price of, total franchisee was 35 lakh rupees, which is going, more than 50 lakh rupees so far. So it is getting increased in the real estate as well.
Do you see the trend happening in tier 2, 3 towns also?
And I give you an example. Jabalpur is the most premium store of ours. So they have actually set up a separate cafe for the, Jabalpur people. They have not seen a cafe like that in the new shop stores. So at the ground floor, they are running a convenience store, and at the first floor, they are running a premium cafe.
Wow, interesting. Avinash, some example from your side on this thing. We were discussing the same point.
So I think if you look at our store, when we have converted something like 3 to 4 years back, we have converted around 100 stores of Reliance Fresh to Signature. In that, 50% were in the smaller cities. Now, we were very skeptical in converting them earlier because we thought that the demand will not be there, and we were the premium as a model will not work in the smaller cities. So we started our first store in Jamshedpur, and some in Jamshedpur and Bhubaneswar. These are the 2 stores where we have tried our first attempt to go into that premium, converting a Reliance Fresh like a 10 to 12-year-old Reliance Fresh store, going into that mode of a signature model where we have upgraded the offering in fruit and vegetables, where we have put in more super exotics. In the bakery assortment, we have done a lot of addition on the bread assortment, because earlier it used to be only brown and white. We have added a lot of sourdough bread, and so that we were very skeptical. We thought that it will not work, and the model of premium is always in the metro cities. But we were totally wrong in terms of the response what we got in the bakery segment, in the overall premiumization which we have seen that has happened in Jamshedpur, in Bhubaneswar, in Jaipur, and Jabalpur. I want to especially highlight because we have launched in Jabalpur, and Jabalpur sushi rice, we got like a highest sale of sushi rice is in Jabalpur. So that is what the response, if you look at, in Bombay is not selling that type of sushi rice, which Jabalpur is selling, or one store is selling sushi rice.
So is there a linkage between Jaipur, Jamshedpur, Jabalpur? Now should be Jodhpur?
No, there are a lot of Indore. Indore, I think Indore is the other market which is picking up very well. So Indore as a market, wherever we have launched, I think Indore, Bhopal, Raipur, Ranchi, these are the stores where we have seen a great traction. So what people are saying, because what we thought that we have always thought that it will not work. But what was the wrong understanding from our side, we have not taken that approach. They don't have any model to upgrade, because if customer want to upgrade, what is their option there? So one thing is online, which is giving them, but if they want to look and feel, if they want to go to the physical store, they were not having a single store of that type of model. So where the brands, like if you talk about Viva as a brand is doing very, like it's a bridge to the international brand. So Viva, Cornetos. Now Mexican cuisine, people want to eat, they go to the Mexican restaurant, by your taco, by the wraps and all, but how they want. So we have seen a great example in Ranchi where we have got a good traction in the wraps as a category. So we thought that how much wraps is selling because we have only picked up only 4 or 5 pieces because it will not sell. But we have seen a great demand of wraps, especially taco wraps that was selling in Ranchi as a store.
Okay, interesting.
So I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah, pretty
shows
nice.
that there's a strong demand in the tier 2 cities.
Yeah,
for the
tier
premium.
2, 3, maybe they'll become metros very soon, maybe in the next census. Mr. Srikanth, while we have spoken about real estate categories and everything, I think merchandising of premium products needs a certain amount of change. So I would like to request you to share some of the trends you have seen the 7-8 years, how merchandising has changed. Equipment.
See, if you look at the merchandising trends, we can take some examples and look at it. Let's look at ice creams. I think about 8 years back, if you went to a store to ask for a ice cream, most of us were thrust a vanilla ice cream by the shopkeeper. I think today, because of social media and the information that's available on the internet, there are so many flavors of ice creams that are available with different brands. And that's happening because people have also started traveling. But at the same time, when people know about the different flavors and brands available, I think the look and feel is becoming very important. And from that standpoint, you can see today when you go to any supermarket or even a retail store, kirana store, the way they merchandise frozen produce is quite different from what it was, say, a decade back. So today you have people showcasing it in see-through refrigerators or freezers. So the visibility is becoming very important. Also the look and feel. So today as a consumer, we have the choice, what is the ice cream, which is the particular cup that we go and take. Because a decade back, whatever the shopkeeper dished out to us, we were forced to take it. So I think that trend has definitely changed. Again, if you look at it as a trend which is happening in the frozen food space, you will see that people are asking for better visibility of the merchandise stored inside. So you will see lighting inside the freezers. That's becoming very critical for many of the freezer companies like us, because brands are demanding for better visibility of the produce that they have stored inside the merchandising equipments. So this is another trend that we are seeing. The third most important thing, yes, it's very critical that in certain cases, you don't have a barrier between the produce stored inside in the unit and the consumer. But from the energy standpoint, it's becoming a little bit of a challenge. We do have facilities by which there is a curtain which is put in between. But very often, then we have checked up with many of the retail players, they say that the consumer definitely feels it better to directly go and touch the produce, feel the produce before he consumes it. So I think the look, feel is becoming very important, which was not the trend, say, about 8 to 10 years back. So that's becoming very, very critical.
No, interesting. Actually, we also see this happening from the regular horizontal chest chillers to a vertical stack chillers. It's a change which we are also seeing as a consumer.
I think you're right. I mean, the vertical freezers is definitely something which is a solution because real estate is quite expensive in the retail space. And from that standpoint, a vertical freezer becomes a very critical asset in the retail space. The problem is the availability of suitable technology, especially which is able to perform in these hot Indian conditions. So that's where the challenge lies. Because what happens is, in a store, the air conditioning is on when the store is in the operations time, that is, say, from about 11 o'clock to 8 o'clock. But these units need to also perform and store the produce off the store working hours. And that's where sometimes we face a challenge.
Interesting. So infrastructure will play a big role in exploring the opportunities from premium.
Absolutely. Infrastructure is definitely going to play a major role.
Perfect. I'll have some short questions, and I would request Prajay and some of you to also reflect on it in a very pointed answers. Is premium a luxury?
As I mentioned, in a country like India, it really depends on who you're talking to and who you're asking. But I read this extremely interesting quote by Mr. Damodar Mal. So he said, the increase in our purchasing capacity is very recent. The increase in our disposable incomes is very recent. But there has been no increase in our purchasing habits. So hence, we need to position premium as something that is accessible and something that customers can build into a habit. for it to really build as a category? Because so far, I don't think anyone has really been able to crack that fully only premium model and make it successful.
Interesting. Is authenticity a premium? I think Sachin spoke about authenticity.
I think I said premium is equal to authenticity is what I said at the beginning, and I think it collabs together with each other. When you are saying premium, it presumes that it has to be authentic in terms of quality.
So I'll twist it a little bit. Does regional curated flavors or something which is have a stamp of traditional Indian, rooted in traditional India culture, does that is premium, or still the international badge holds a significance?
See, in recent times, because of the more awareness on the health, both has its own benefits. So regional, like, I mean, I'll give you with an example. I mean, just few weeks ago, I mean, few days back, we have launched a store in Bangalore, and there is a cafe which is called Millet Cafe. It's completely regional. But the response of that Millet Cafe is much more than Gourmet Cafe. You know, so it depends in which section, in which area you are. So there is a millet idli, there is a millet dosa, there are multiple things. There is a millet pizza also, which is regional, you know, with south, touch. But still the response, the highest performing section for us is that section. So it gives you the answer what I'm trying to tell you. The same thing may not work in South Bombay. In South Bombay, it will remain the typical gourmet.
So premium is getting democratized, right?
Sorry?
Premium is getting democratized.
Yes, because of the health. As I said, the health is one of the reason it is no more limited to one particular menu or one particular section. The people are exploring and innovating even in premiumness.
Interesting. Yeah.
Let me just add to a recent experience that we as a brand had. So Only has been there for close to a decade now. And we were known for bringing international seasoning spices to India. And we wanted to do something different, and with authenticity and premium that we spoke about, we decided to basically get into two new categories. One was whole spices, very traditional, very unorganized. 99% of whole spices in India is unorganized. And it's predominantly through private labels. You know. And we were very scared that we are taking the brand to some place where people might not just accept it. It's an international gourmet brand. It might just bomb on our faces. And trust me, we projected X, we ended up having 500X. So another product that we launched, we just launched something called Mukwas and Digestives, very traditional products. Anardana Goli and Jeera Goli and Rajwadi Mukwa. So these kind of products have been there in our palate and plate for close to 200-300 years. All that we did was make them more authentic, make them more rooted, get rid of artificial colors and bad additives, make them completely natural. The response phenomenal. Premiumization is no more about international, continental, or whatever you want to call it. Even Indian traditional products, if made right, are attracting that premium.
Nice, interesting. So we come at the closure of our panel discussion. Very interesting perspectives. Certainly, what comes out is that premium is getting democratized. The consumer is becoming smarter, far more informed, and there is a boom happening in Tier 2, Tier 3 towns, and infrastructure has to cope up. We do see changes in infrastructure. It has to further cope up to meeting the rising demands. And it'll be pretty interesting that next year, when we meet, how some of these categories has become a part of mass is something which we'll have a conversation on. Yeah. Thanks from our side. We're open to any questions from the audience. Who would want to take this?
I think if I have to summarize, it is with taste is always a very important thing. So whatever product is without taste, it will not work. So nutrition with taste. So I think that is the formula which company, if they will apply that formula, it will work. Because we have seen a lot of products which are very healthy, but they don't have a taste. So that is not working in India, in our stores. But we have seen a product which is healthy and tastier. You have to use some natural ingredients to make that taste tasty. So I think that has really worked for us. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I think what Avinash said is right, but still taste has upper hand. I mean, we can't deny that. That's why people are, I mean, they're not paying premium to be unhealthy, you know. So taste is upper, I mean, I would say that it definitely has an edge over, though there is a lot of, after pandemic, there is a lot of awareness and people are shifting. I mentioned in the beginning also. But still, I think taste matter. I mean, indulgence is something which comes at the cost of not much health, but still people do that. So
Yes. Yeah.
If we consider the frozen things before 2 years, and if we consider the frozen foods in the next 5 years, are we considering frozen food in the premium segments, or still it's the normal things?
So in the frozen food, if I have to talk, still the category size earlier, we have seen the category size was fulfilled with McCain's and Shuffle as a brand, which was more towards the commodity. Now we have seen a lot of brands coming in the momos as a category. So I think there are some traction which we have seen. There are companies which are coming in momos, in some snacking. So I think that is where we have seen a traction. But still a category size in our stores is still very small. We have seen a traction, growth is there, but still the size is around 1 to 1.5% of the overall sales. So not beyond that.
We can have only one more question. Yeah.
Hello, this is Vijay here. I think Nature's Basket, the example given one was that cafe and that millet cafe, right? Extending that logically forward. So are you kind of experiencing or maybe experience hyper localization of the local ingredients and premium becoming kind of a regional tag or a district tag, right? And the second question would be, I will just ask and get it to Sir, I am so sorry, I can't write your name, but you gave a very fantastic example of the, the disposable income having increased maybe for the past 5 years or 2 years. So the thing is, basically the two questions are interlinked. Does this word premium needs to be redefined, or does that premium only means packaging and an X amount of income?
no, definitely not only packaging. I mean, I would answer the first question. For us also, it was experiment in last 6 months. We recently opened in Ahmedabad. So we launched with a lot of local, so we have our own cafe in most of the stores now. And that is where we experiment. We have spoken to almost 300, 400 customers before getting those. So there is a mix, there is a tweak, with local flavor with gourmet. So the menu itself is local. It is no more limited to only this. So, and the response in both. So we have tried in 2 cities. One is in Bangalore and second one in Ahmedabad. And in both the cities, we have seen that the share of these fusion, these fusion items, the acceptance are much, much higher than only avocado toast or a pizza. These fusions are, maybe that is because of the location where we have opened the store, but it's too early to comment, or it's too early to, give a confirmation to this that, okay, I mean, this is what it is working. So it's too early for us. You have to see for some more time. Initial response is that, yeah, the fusion and the local thing is working for us. Yeah.
Sure.
I hope it gives you some perspective.
If I could just answer a little bit on the premium segment, is what I alluded to a little earlier, is that premium is not just about the price or the form or shape factor, but a lot of it has to do with the values that the customer assigns to your premium brand or whatever it is that you stand for. Why do we buy from the small farmer? Why do we buy from the local artisan? It's not because there are not better options, but it's because those values align with us. We are willing to pay a little more for that, but because those values, we want to support these people, that aligns with us. So I think premiumization has to go beyond just value, shape, form to values and belief systems. I think that is when you will build that habit and that community.
Thank you. And with this, we come to a closure of our panel discussion. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, audience.